Hello, happy Friday, TGIF, y'all. Welcome into the Miss Best Reviews Housewives Beverly Hills recap and review. This has been a weak season, but this episode was interesting. This episode was actually interesting. Let's welcome in James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel.
Hey,
Good
hey,
afternoon
hey.
or good evening.
Oh, yeah, it's good evening. Good evening, everybody. Like, comment, and subscribe. Welcome to all the new folks here to Mrs. Best channel. You guys are going to enjoy yourselves. You're in for a ride. We give great content, and also the content that she does by herself is absolutely amazing. So it is definitely worth the subscription.
Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. And let's keep spreading the support of each other around. I was just in Miss Sandra's live, Sandra P Gen X. She is live right now going over Ladies of London. I did drop a Ladies of London review earlier also, but tap into Miss Sandra. She's sweet. And when I say sweet, I mean she is sweeter than the cane that the sugar came from. So sweet. So I do like to support Miss Sandra. I enjoy her political discourse lives. And there's also some other great creators in there, like JB Says What, Kiwan JTV, Shayna _MCD, and myself and James's joint channel, which will give you guys some information on a live that we'll have on that channel tomorrow at the end of this. But let's also acknowledge everybody in the chat. Hello, Shani.
Hello, Shani. Thank you for being here.
She said, "Ooh, girl, Erica has been activated." I feel like Erica was trying to avoid getting activated because of all the controversy. But if you're going to stay on the show, get activated. As we say in the Bay, get active and give us some form of entertainment. Please do. And I'm glad that she did. Hi, Naya. Happy to see you again. I did tag Naya and Shani in my description as well. They are not creators, but if you are someone that subscribes to me and YouTube plays with the church's money sometimes and does not like to tell y'all that I'm live, if y'all let me know that, which Naya has let me know before as well as Shani, then I'll just tag you so that you can know when we're going live, because YouTube don't like me and I'm wanting to drive over to Mountain View and tell them how I feel, but I live too close and you know what I'm saying, I'm not trying to mess up my channel. Let me see. Nice. Like, I'm here. I know. I'm just letting y'all know. Like, they're not creators. They're there because they need to know when we here. That is literally it. I appreciate the love. You said you're behind on Ladies of London. That's okay. My reviews are not live, which makes it to where, behind or not, just watch it when you have time. There's also a playlist up there for that. But Ladies of London has been getting good. It's a very slow build. But I am engaged. I am engaged. Kevin, I'm happy to see you here. Welcome in, and TGIF to you as well. He says hello, you too. Now that Housewives Beverly Lord, Beverly Hills, we're not talking about coops, delivered a good episode. However, the season is about to be over. Too little, too late. Please just say it. Say it louder and prouder so that everybody can hear it, Kevin, because this has been one of the worst seasons of anything I've watched on TV. This is just as bad as Love is Marriage Huntsville. And that's not good. I just don't see it for that show. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't. I know people love it, but I don't see it for that show. But this season has sucked. I almost gave up, James, to tell y'all, like a couple of times. I was like, do we really need to cover this? Should we not go live and do pre-records? Because it was a slow season. Slow. On another note, Housewives of Rhode Island is going to be that new franchise.
It sure is. I'm sorry. When I tell y'all I was glued in from start to finish and my mouth could not drop any wider, I was like, wait, what?
I'm going to say, based on the storylines they set up for Rhode Island, which we will be going over Rhode Island right after this live, they have a season and it's interesting. But the introduction to them was boring. It gave Salt Lake City seasons 1 and 2. Boring. So I'm hoping that as it goes on, which it looks like from the previews, it will get better. I'm hoping it gets better. But right now, I'm extremely bored and annoyed with Joe Ellen. But we will get into that after this live. She says, scratch it for a storyline and they paycheck. Ciao. New Housewife City, not franchise. I know what you meant, my darling.
Yeah, we got you.
Let me see. Lord, not love, and slavery and She called it Lord Not Love and Slavery Huntsville. That's basically what it is. But we can't even call it slavery because they have the ability to set themselves free. There's no need for an underground railroad. It's just a bunch of pick-me's and men hiding in the closet on that show. But Love and Marriage Huntsville has a loyal following because for those who do not know, if you look up the demographics for OWN as a network, most of the people watching that network are over the age of 40.
Yep.
People over the age of 40, when they commit to something, and this has nothing to do with generation, no Gen X, Gen Z, even me when I get to 40, like the older we get, we're more set in our ways. If we like something, we'll keep watching it. That seems to be what's happening with that. And it makes sense because that's the demographic for that channel. So, hey, we welcome everybody. I agree with this too. Housewives of Rhode Island is Housewives of New Jersey 2.0, 5.0 at this point. Kevin and me were talking about that earlier. I agreed with everything you said, Kevin, because it is basically New Jersey without the drama that has been going on for 20 years before a camera got there. That's what it's
I
giving.
will say the storylines are a little bit more juicier than Jersey. I'm just gonna
Jersey
say,
is just
Jersey's wasn't as
family.
juicy. Not even 10 years ago wasn't this juicy.
No, when you really go back and rewatch stuff, especially New Jersey of all the free franchises, Teresa flipping that table was over nothing. The problem with Danielle was a bunch of nothing. Y'all just didn't like how she was living her life. But nothing like too big happened, but it was a different time for TV. So it is good that they're redoing it. Shani's almost done with Rhode Island. Naya says they usually take their time to get traction. You could tell with this episode, it was longer than an hour with commercials. They were definitely working to get people invested. But let's get into these old hoes we know already, aka RHOBH. They old as hell. They old as hell. I'm so glad I'm black. That's all I'm gonna say. We're gonna start this episode with the dinner table. We see them at the dinner. They're still in Italy. I don't know why I want to say Spain, but they are still in Italy. And Kyle is explaining to Bose how Bose comments on the same things and has the same opinions as Kyle. And Bose is close to Dorit. And Kyle can't understand why Dorit has a problem with her, but not Bose and not anyone else. And specifically, she doesn't like that Bose can comment on Dorit's financial situation and how everything, I guess all the bills and stuff, which they didn't even show on camera, are in Dorit's name. So the debt that's in the marriage between Dorit and PK, all of the stuff is in her name. Now, we know that a lot of stuff went in Dorit's name because when her and PK started to have financial issues before they announced the divorce, the house that they're in now, she put it in her name. There was a house they tried to live in after that big house that Boy George was in. That was put in her name. So we know that stuff has been put in her name because of PK's financial woes. Why are we feeling sorry for you now? That's just the way the cookie crumbles, baby. That was your husband and you did what you did. So why are we going to feel bad for you? But Dorit says that the difference between Kyle and Bose is that Bose apologizes and Kyle doesn't. And I'm like, but wait, Kyle has apologized to you and Kyle has tried to come to you and talk to you about stuff before going to other women. But when she does, you jump down her throat. So when she stops talking to you and talks to other women that you claim to currently be close with as a way to try and get through to you or share concern, you're still mad. And Bose explains that she felt like Kyle was genuine and was not speaking to her in a malicious way or a way that would make it seem like she was just trying to talk shit. But Dorit just ignored that. And I'm looking at these ladies at this dinner table and I'm like, okay, this is stupid. This is all very, very stupid. But Dorit says that Kyle, again, because Dorit does keep saying the same thing. I will give her that. She keeps saying that her issue with Kyle is that Kyle goes to everybody else and talks about her concern with Dorit instead of coming to her. In my opinion, Kyle is moving the way she has with Dorit, the way she's moved with all of her friends on this show, the way she has always moved in their friendship. She talks about her friends' problems with other people. That's why people have called her Vile Kyle. That's why a lot of us don't like her. That's why a lot of people feel she's messy. So I feel like Dorit is only having a problem with Kyle now because she doesn't have Kyle as an ally anymore, but she needs Kyle for a storyline. Because I know people like to say, Dorit sharing her life. What has the bitch shared? She's not talking about the foreclosure on TV. She's not really talking about anything. All she's doing is downing PK and saying she's had a hard time. But what is she telling us that I can't go read online about her divorce and her separation that we do not already know? If somebody can tell me that, then I will happily admit to being wrong. But Dorit, you don't give enough on this show to feel this way, in my opinion. And that is just my opinion. But Bose is doing the same thing that Kyle is doing. Nobody's commenting on it. Everyone has an opinion about Kyle. And this is where Rachel steps in, because I think Rachel understands, but Rachel is going to be one of those people who's just going to pick a side and stick to it. But Rachel tries to say, well, Dorit reacts this way to you because she cares about you the most. It's kind of like your sister. And Kyle was like, she's not my fucking sister. She's not. You can say that you have a sisterly bond with somebody, but if you're not my family, you're not my family. And I'm not about to give you allowances that I would give to my family, to my friends, because there's a difference between the two. But Rachel's trying to get them to see that they care about each other. And the table then starts to side with Rachel. And it's like, yeah, because they've got decade of friendship. And so it's different. She doesn't get the same treatment as everyone else. That's right, y'all. She should get the treatment that Bose is getting. And Bose should get the treatment that Kyle is getting. If you've had a history with somebody for over a decade, are you people slow? Has the Hollywood air and the smog over LA impacted y'all? Like, are we not clicking? If I have a problem in my life and I go through it, and let's say Kevin Reynolds, me and James are filming a show, and they're talking about my relationship or the ending of me and Mr. Best or something. Let me knock on wood because I like him. But like, I'm not going to get mad at James for having an opinion, but I might get mad at Kevin because I've known him less time. You know? So I don't understand why the group can't get that, but I also think it's a piece and a part of Kyle being vile for so long. You were so unlikable and messy for so long, you can't get mad at that. But before we move forward to them discussing the rudeness, because this dinner went on and on and on, and it is hard as a recapper to know where to pause, I'm just going to randomly pause because I want to get James's opinion on like what they discussed so far at the table, because we still got a lot of this table to go.
Okay, so let me make sure I tell myself not to jump ahead. First off, I'm gonna blame production first. How dare y'all sit there and have me have to defend Kyle once again on YouTube, because y'all conveniently left out that Bose was the one that told Kyle about Dorit's financial situation, making it seem like Kyle already knew that shit and was spreading it around when really it was Bose who told her. Mm-hmm. Production, y'all are fucked up for that, because now I have to defend Kyle because I said it a few weeks ago when they had that situation. I was like, I felt like Kyle was damned if she do and damned if she didn't, because I felt like she already knew the financial situation beforehand and brought it to TV. But since it was actually Bose who did it, now I'm on Kyle's side now, because remember, I went back and forth because I'm like, well, damn, like I feel like she's not a concern, but not trying to say anything. Lo and behold, it was Bose who said it. So no, I'm on Kyle's side now. I'm on Kyle's side now because that's fucked up. That y'all will
I
put
think
that
a
on
lot
her.
of people feel like because it's Kyle and Dorit arguing, like they can't really side with Kyle, but y'all gotta stop watching TV through your biases, child, and understand that right is right and wrong is wrong. And in that situation, you are correct. Bose has been the one running and talking to people that Dorit has been expressing she's not in a good place with. If James tell me we got an issue with somebody, there's actually someone that we went to high school with who I don't fuck with at all, who he don't really mess with too much either, but they still cool. But if he were to go and tell her some stuff about my personal life today, I'm looking at him weird. Because if you know I don't mess with somebody, why would you go and volunteer my personal information to the person you know I don't mess with?
Exactly.
Like, what are you doing, Bose?
Exactly. So that's why I said I don't know how she got off scot-free. But as I said, this makes it really weird because all Kyle is trying to do is trying to center her in a way where she has support. But the problem with Dorit is she's so up her own ass and above her head that she's not seeing it that way. She's seeing it as a personal attack. Everybody's attacking her. Everyone's not supporting her. Everyone's pointing the finger at her and not pointing the finger at PK. Everyone's doing everything to Dorit, but supporting her in this situation. And it's like, Dorit, this is why I'm sick of her. Because you too busy trying to be the victim in this whole situation where you're
Mhm.
not completely seeing that she is being genuine coming to you, and the person you sit over there talking about has been more supportive than everybody put together.
And
Ugh.
that's what Dorit says next, which kind of pisses everybody off. Bose has been here for me more than all of you combined. I said, oh Lord. And that turns into some more stuff, but there's so much, y'all, that unpacked at this dinner. Before we continue to move forward, I'm going to get through the comments. If I am a bad host, just tell me, Mrs. Best, you fucking up the church's pieces of change. Read my comment and I will happily read it
I
because
have a
it is,
wait.
huh?
Go ahead. I was gonna say before you read the cover, I have something. If there was ever a time, Kyle or Erica, for y'all to flip a table,
This
this
was
was
the time.
this was that time. This would have been the excuse of the lifetime. The moment that left her lips, that table would have flipped over because how dare you? Kyle had to give up a whole 15-year friendship because of your ass.
Mm-hmm. More than a 15-year friendship. She also gave up, like, we'll get into that, but
Yeah.
she's a mess. Oh, I read this comment. They take their time to get traction. The old Housewives of New Jersey was way better than what we have now.
Oh, of course.
It was. It was. I think where things went wrong with New Jersey is when Melissa and Joe came in. I know a lot of people may feel opposite from me, but I feel like when Melissa and Joe changed the cast is when that cast kind of became
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I can kind of see your point
It changed
because
the
with
whole trajectory.
Danielle and Kara, they had a show. Melissa come in, and it's kind of like,
Because we
yeah,
got Melissa, but we lost Dina, we lost Caroline, we lost a
Caroline, yep.
couple of people, we lost the Manzos as a whole when she came in. But it was good back in the day. I think New Jersey is one of those shows they should let die just because Teresa's never going to redeem herself and do the same stuff. Dolores at this point is a pick me that does what Teresa says. So I would rather Dolores be elsewhere. And Melissa, she's just normal. I don't really have much complaints on Melissa. She's just too normal for me to be entertained by. Kevin says that is because Bose does not personally know PK. Duh, Kyle. Yes, Bose doesn't know PK personally, but she's only known Bose a year. It's barely been a full
It's barely,
365.
yeah, it's barely been
That's a lot of
like a full
trust to put
year.
in someone so new. Like I be having good friends too, like when you're bonded with people and whatnot. But if I'm gonna just keep it a buck, I don't really want you commenting too much on my personal life, especially not with other people when I've known you less than 5 years. But that's just
I just think that's just common sense. Like I feel like to me, it's nobody's place to comment on someone else's life because here's the thing, you know a small portion of it based on what you're told and based on what you see, but you're not in the actual situation. So what could be told and what can be seen could be skewed based on what is told to you and based on
Mhm.
the behaviors of that person. So I don't think anybody should ever comment on someone else's life. Like I just don't think it ever should be a time.
That's true. I also think, Bose, you came into this friend group saying to Garcelle that you wanted to get to know everybody equally. Do that because you still up this girl's ass and people are calling you a season 2 flop with the poodle wig. She wore that wig, had her looking like an award-winning poodle. Goodbye, Kyle. I love Ken. I hope he's all right. He old as hell. Naya said, at this point, I would tell them both to shut the fuck up. There's no resolution. It's the battle of the white women. Whoever wins is the more dominant Karen. Say it again, Naya. Say it again. Copy and paste it. Say it again. That is the truth. It's an argument of two privileged Karens. And Bose, I just wish this is why we need other people hosting a reunion. I'm available, Bravo, because I would love to ask Bose. Have you not watched previous seasons where Dorit mentioned her only black friends are the help? That's all. I just want to know, Miss Bose.
It wouldn't matter one way or the other with her.
It wouldn't, but I just want to keep her. She's nothing to revel. There are lots of people who are successful and black who do so while making room for other people to be successful in Black or working with them. And something about both just don't sit right with me. What's poppin' to Shani's sister? My other twin. Welcome in. Welcome in. Kevin said, honestly, glad Kyle and Erica, not a fan of either. Cold check Dorit at the dinner table in front of the other women. Never liked Dorit ever since she dead on Beverly Hills. Nobody likes Dorit. When Dorit came on the show too, I love when they show past like pictures and stuff of her. She looked terribly and basic in the face. My God, she done had a lot of work done, and I don't be realizing it until they go back and show old clips of Dorit. I'd be like, who is this clear woman? Who's this colorless lady? You would never know. She done changed a lot, and that's why she mad. I'm seeing online too people saying Dorit's on the booger sugar, the way that she be late, and they say there ain't no way she calling her kids. I said, y'all leave her alone. leave Dorit alone. Leave Doris alone. Let's welcome in JB. He is a fabulous Black creator that I enjoy to watch. Y'all, I'm not sure if you cover Beverly Hills. I watched your Beyond the Gates. I saw that you did Rhode Island, but I'm not sure if you did Beverly Hills. But JB got Rhode Island out the way already, so I encourage everybody to check that out. JB said it was always Teresa for me who hurt New. Say it louder, JB. Teresa is not iconic.
No.
I've never felt Teresa was iconic as a housewife. I also feel like she's what they say the term all bark, no bite. She's one of them dogs that until you come up to them and be like, I'll punch you in the nose and kick you. And then
That's what they need. That's what they need on New Jersey. If anybody, they need one of them ones that, be about it with the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get DJ Envy's wife is going on the show too, but that's not what I was talking about.
I don't think she's about it with the mouth.
No.
If she was, she would have a different husband, but I'm going to let that one. Naya said they remember what they chose to remember, but damn, you're on a show. They could literally watch things back like we do, but they don't and be confused as fuck about dates and times because Dorit, girl, Bose, I know. The people agreeing with JB. I don't know who likes Teresa. There's people out there that love her though. But from the beginning of New Jersey, I have never watched the Housewives of New Jersey for Teresa or as a Teresa fan.
Me either. Ever.
And in the earlier days of New Jersey, she reminds us to be grateful for cosmetic surgeons. My God. My God, Teresa. She claims she watched the show before filming or joining. She couldn't have. So why she navigates this way in the group is weird. I actually think it makes sense. If I watched the show like this before and was coming onto it, especially when she came onto it, Garcelle was still there. Some other people are still there. I would go for Dorit as a friend too, because she had no friends on the show. Remember, Dorit was actually not invited back on the show and Bravo was done with her. But when everything went down with Tom Girardi and Erica and their shady situation, they decided to keep the cast as is to keep Erica. Dorit was not supposed to even be on this show no more while she acted like this. Production obviously wasn't on her side either with how they provided receipts for others, but not for her. JB, oh yeah, you did tell me that. You dropped Beverly Hills with the quickness after last season.
Don't blame you
as well, but then the people kept watching. I was getting views, so I was like, Lord, let me just keep doing it. But I don't know if I can do, like being honest, JB, I don't know if I could do another season of Beverly Hills. I try not to drop shows because you never know who's subscribing to you for a show. But as I expand the content I'm doing, Beverly Hills better improve because I really may drop it depending on what happens at the reunion, if I'm being honest. This is Dorit minus the accent, labels, and debt. I wonder how she feels about PK having a new girlfriend. I know
she said she's pretty. I said, oh, look at PK. Who the hell? I'm not playing.
PK has a type. That's all I'm gonna say. But at least this one got her own money.
Yeah.
JB said Marge always gave it to Teresa, but it got old. Yep. Because when you see the same person giving it to someone, eventually you're like, and then when Jacqueline, was that her name? Not Loretta from back in the day, but the Jacqueline, the lawyer.
Oh, Jackie,
yeah,
the blonde,
her husband, none of that. Her.
The one I was shocked was a lawyer. I was like, that's a lawyer?
When
Because I
she
just
first
thought,
came on the show, you could kind of tell that she was, but as she went, you saw her trying to just kind of
yeah, because I
align
didn't
with
watch that
Teresa.
season when she first came on. I watched the third season. When did
Yeah, you had to watch from the beginning to understand her. And even then, that would just make you dislike her more. But she's the only housewife from New Jersey who said she decided not to come back. Everybody else was like, I didn't get asked back. It's been real. Here go Jackie. I chose not to do the girl, bye. Go practice fellatio somewhere, please. Um, is Teresa the ditzy one, the table flip? Yes. Not smart, highly unattractive, married to a lobster that's uncooked, all of those things. Um, Bose was strategic. Yes. I feel James caught that. I
yep.
caught that. Bose is extremely strategic in how she gets along with these women, which I think is why a lot of people who have good discernment, such as yourself, JB, and James and myself, can kind of see like, okay, yes, it's strategic,
But
but
it was like a very incorrect
it
strategic.
didn't work the way she thought it
It
would.
didn't
What
work.
she should
Yeah.
have done is found her sister, Garcelle, made friends with her and got the tea off camera. That's what she should have
No,
done.
what I wish she would have aligned more with. She was
Mhm.
trying so hard not to stereotype herself, and she ended up doing it anyway. Y'all have to be careful when y'all do that. You're going to get stereotyped regardless. Coming on a show with all white women with only one other black person, it would behoove you to befriend the black person because y'all could change the dynamic on the show where there could be more of y'all if they see it could work. But
I
Bose didn't
also
want to do
just
that.
think, separate from any of that, strategy is good and everything, but baby, you could have been strategic with Dorit and still been cool with Garcelle.
Yep.
So I see you, Bose. JB said Beverly Hills was my money maker. I bet it was, but I couldn't. Yeah, I'm getting to a point where I'm like, you know what, Amina, you need to just add more content, even if it's a show that I don't care for or something I may not think as well. I think it's smart as content creators. Just add content, see what sticks, see what doesn't, because you never know if what could be your money, your bread and butter, what brings you the most views, you never know if it could take a turn and compromise your ethics, your morals, your beliefs. I'm like, pretty probably done with Beverly Hills after this season, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, they are on my nerves. My teeth is itching, they itching, and I brushed them. Jackie, she did go out bad. Jackie went out so bad, but I'm not surprised. Hi, Sandra P. Welcome in. I was just in her Ladies of London live. Please go support Miss Sandra. Her lives are good. I also enjoy her political discourse segments. Miss Sandra, I'm fangirling your segments. Um, it was strategic, yet it really exposed the rumors of Bose that circled, yep, corporate America and Black corporate America. I think you're muted.
Yeah, and that's why I said it was an incorrect strategic because that's exactly what it did. It is exactly the wrong exposure that she needed. And we see well, you couldn't trust that wig on her head. You couldn't trust it anyway. So I mean, and I put the picture on my page when I first announced she had this really big ass wig, and I said, you can't trust nobody with hair like that. You can't
That's a
trust it.
corporate photo.
Yes. And you sitting over there with a head full of curly fries. Burnt curly fries at that.
But I agree with this too. Bose is a disappointment. She is a disappointment. I think we all just had high hopes for her to come on as an educated, strong Black woman and to be up the ass of Doris. And I'm sorry to the person who commented. I know that there was somebody who commented on our last review. Um, she asked if we could call Dorit instead of Doris. That is an inside joke on this channel for those who are new to the channel, because we know that Dorit's accent is fake. Ergo, this whole season, how her accent has magically disappeared, and we said her name was probably Doris, and she's selling us something else.
Ma'am, I need her to, ma'am, I'm sorry. To the person who commented, no disrespect to you, but until she shows me her driver's license, birth certificate, and social security number that says her name is actually Dorit, that's when I will start calling her that. But her name is Doris because I'm sorry. It just looked like someone just did an incorrect typo of the T instead of the S, and that's what you got.
She's gonna say her name is probably cultural, but like your accent is fake, boo. So please figure that out. Who hasn't told her the wigs ain't wigging? Oh, the Black community is telling Bose she's ignoring us.
She showed us. She said she gonna wear. She said she gonna wear her heavy wigs. She don't give a damn what we talking about.
She
She
said
loves hair.
Doris is hilarious. Don't help her fake it. I mean, It's fake. She gives Doris. She acts like a Doris, just
Just
waiting to
like
call
this.
shots. That's how she acts.
Y'all don't know a Doris like that. Y'all really don't like that is that's why I call it because she was a we went to high school with a Doris.
Did we?
Yeah,
Oh Lord,
she was in my year after me. You might not have been there yet.
probably not. I
Yeah,
transferred to that school.
yeah. So you might not have been there yet, but yeah, we went to yeah, it was a girl out Medina named Doris. Couldn't stand her.
Lord help us, y'all. Where was I in this doggone thingy? I'm looking, but Kyle is going across the table, pretty much calling everybody out. She's trying to get people on her side. She's talking about Doris's or Dorita's erratic and all of this crazy stuff, which Dorit does seem erratic. I feel like there's more to it though. And I find it interesting that Dorit, you're so offended about people referring to you as erratic. But last season, the season before that, and the season before that, you were alluding to Sutton being an erratic alcoholic. But now you want us to feel sorry for the ladies referring to you as erratic when they're not saying you're erratic and then coupling you in with drugs or alcohol like you did to Sutton. So, Dorit, it seems like everything that you dished out, you cannot take back because everything that these women are saying about you is stuff that you said about them, except you said stuff about them to be harmful and messy. They're saying stuff for you because they're tired of dealing with you. And some of them seem concerned. That's just what it gives. But as Kyle is continuing to try and, feed us her plight and all this other stuff, Dorit is like, I'm going through a hard time and y'all need to give me grace because they was kind of eating her up at the table. And Kyle was like, we've all been giving you grace. You've been rude. You're always late and you're doing all of this stuff. And the whole group did finally come together and was like, yeah, you do be late. You do be rude and you don't be saying sorry. So apparently earlier in the episode or in a previous episode during their trip to Italy, at some point, Dorit was hella late to a dinner. She was hella late to come into a car and she just walked in and was like, where am I sitting? Look, you narcissistic bitch. Becky with you not a natural blonde, Doris. Okay. I'm coming at every piece of you because how are you going to be so late for stuff? Talking about your kids, which Erica ate her up with that kid line because people with kids, some people do use their kids as an excuse to why they're not late. Let me tell you what my mama did with 4 kids as a single mom. She planned. My mother had 4 kids. Single parent, because my dad, when they were married, was constantly in jail. And then when they divorced, it was just her. My mother was also a full-time counseling graduate student, getting her hours and clinical hours to become a therapist and psychologist, working full-time for Alameda County, still maintaining her friends, and got me and my siblings, we were very active kids, to all of our extracurriculars, activities, performances, all of that. And she be on time. So Doris, your kids are not an excuse for you to be late, baby. That means you need to plan. That's why you be seeing parents that be having schedules in their house, chore schedules, calendars, planners, all of that. She tries to use that as a reason, but she tells the table when she sees that everyone's agreeing with her, which is Kyle's point, because Kyle kept pointing out stuff and being like, I'm not the only one that feels this way. And then the group would agree. And then Doris would not acknowledge the fact that Kyle was right, but instead just be like, well, I'm sorry to everyone at the table. Then she goes through everyone at the table and issues an apology, but forgets to apologize to Amanda, who honestly, Amanda's a little odd, but Amanda ain't done shit to Dorit. She hasn't done anything to any of them, if we're being honest. She hasn't been messy. She hasn't gone and done the game of telephone with gossip. She's literally just been here living and talking about how fabulous the life she manifested for herself is. And it has pissed these women off worse than you would think somebody slept with their husband in front of them, pushed their kid in the traffic. All this girl Amanda done did. And I think she's a little ditzy. And there's parts of Amanda I don't love, but she ain't done shit to nobody. And so Dorit skips her over as if she didn't just try to ignore the fact that that girl didn't want to talk about something because of her baby, which Amanda, you should have stayed your ass home. But since then, Dorit has kept it going. And I'm like, now you want to leave out Amanda and have a petty moment? Because Dorit probably thought in her little pea brain that all these women have been complaining about Amanda. If I just do a little petty something towards her, maybe they'll side with me or come off of my ass. They did not. Kyle called that out. She's like, why wouldn't you acknowledge her? Dorit's like, well, I didn't see you, Amanda. I'm sorry. Kyle said, how are you don't see her. She's sitting right next to you. Doris, this was where you started to lose this whole dinner and where the foolery just went from bad to worse. Uh, child, Kyle then decides to continue on and she calls out Sutton for talking about Dorit as well. And Rachel points out again, the rules differ because of your relationship. Rachel's, oh, go make a dress. And God, don't let it be a fucking caftan. If I see her in one more caftan, I'm going to fight. I'm going to physically fight in the street. I'm so tired of Rachel Zoe doing the same stuff. But we get to Erica, and Erica gets upset, as James mentioned before, because Dorit tries to say that Bose is the only person out of the whole group that's offered her support. This pisses Erica off, and this is where the cameras show LVP, her exit, Puppygate. They showed them supporting Dorit through a couple of things, but the reason they showed Puppygate so much is because LVP was a pivotal part in why the show kept going back in the earlier seasons. LVP was also well liked by the audience as well as some members in the group. And it did seem like some of the women in the group, from what I watched back then, it did seem like some of them got jealous because LVP got a spinoff show while on Beverly Hills. She had Vanderpump Rules. She got a huge deal in partnership with Caesars Las Vegas to where the Cromwell is being shut down, where Jayus is, and it's going to be opening up as the Vanderpump Hotel. She's got her restaurant in Paris. She's got her restaurant in Caesar's Palace. She's got her restaurants overseas. I felt like to a certain extent when LVP was there, some of them were jealous. I'm not saying LVP was perfect. She did have her moments, but she didn't have to leave the show in the manner she left it while ending her longest friendship on the show, all because of Dorit and a damn dog. And now looking back, Lisa Vanderpump does not play about the love for animals. If y'all remember Lisa, we used to always see her doing she talked about the Yulin Dog Festival and saving the animals. Like, she really is a pet lover. I don't think Lisa would have got mad at Dorit if she did it right. And you can't just give up a dog like Lisa's the SPCA and drop it off. You got to actually like call and arrange for that. But they brought all of that up again. The cameras did. And I'm wondering how that will play out, James, at the reunion. Because she's going to have to acknowledge that scene and all the stuff that happened in the past. And I'm curious if Dorit is going to acknowledge really any of it. But Erica read her for filth. She read her for filth. She says that Dorit is always late and she doesn't understand it. And she says that since you're not so upset and feel like we need to ask you questions, Erica said, then tell us why you were late. And Dorit, says that she was late because she was checking on her kids. And Erica said, well, you're not the only one with kids here. You're not the only one with small kids here. Erica pointed to Amanda, who has 3 under 10, which is difficult. And then we've also got, who else has a kid? Bose don't really count. Kyle don't count. All her kids is grown. But all of the women at the table have kids and don't be late. So it doesn't make any sense that Dorit acts like she has to be late to check on her kids when her kids are with her family. They're not with a nanny.
Right.
They're not with unknown people that they don't see regularly. They're with their dad and their grandparents. Because didn't she say in the last episode that PK was in Italy and they had lunch together and the group was like, huh? You're downing him having lunch?
But you're gonna meet up with him to have lunch though. Like, make that make sense. Like, how are you down on this man, complaining about him? He's putting you in financial disarray. He's being mean to you. He's not taking up time with the kids. He's controlling you on where the kids go, but then y'all meet up in Italy and go have lunch together.
It's like, what? In a divorce battle? A custody battle at that? No, absolutely not. It made 0 sense. But Erica reminded her of all of that. And she said, okay, but watching your kids, checking on your kids should not take that long. So what's the problem? And then, Rachel tries to step in saying, well, Erica, she's going through a hard time. And I was so happy that somebody finally told Rachel, like, we don't care, be quiet, pretty much. Because that's what Erica gave her. Because shut the fuck up, you just got here. And you're newer than Bose. Be quiet. Because how is it that you say Dorit's going through something, but Kyle is also going through something? Y'all haven't acknowledged her separation. And I'm mad that y'all making me defend vile Kyle. But
I'm telling you, it should be a crime against humanity. all this defending that I'm doing for Kyle, and I don't like Kyle. That's the thing. Why do y'all have us defending her like this to this degree?
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. But I was here for Erica telling Rachel, like, mind your business, pretty much, bitch. You just got here. You knew you don't know anything. And the last time you were on Bravo, the network was trying to figure itself out. It was in season 1 of Atlanta. Like, Rachel, be quiet. You're the past, boo. Trying to be the present, but you're boring me, and it looks like you align with who you align with and ignore the facts of everything else. Because I guarantee y'all, if Rachel was in Kyle's position, she would not even be entertaining this and would have just been done. But she wants to push somebody else to deal with it, which is crazy. But pretty much Erica explains to Dorit, you're not the only person going through it. Everybody else is going through something. And Dorit was trying to say, well, I'm going through a divorce and it's very difficult. And Erica reminded her, well, baby, you're not the only one going through a divorce. There are other people going through divorces. There are people going through divorces worse than yours. And this is where Dorit says that Erica's acting like a cunt. See you next Tuesday. I know clear people, the colorless, don't like that word. As Jennifer Tilly said, in other parts of the world, it means something different. You go to Brazil, you give someone the middle third, they're going to think you're telling them good job, thumbs up. Like, things are different in every culture. So I appreciated Jennifer Tilly for like, but I hollered when Doris was like, yeah, cunt. And Erica said, nice try, Dorit. I'm the one that brought that word to the group for the first time. Try again. I said, oh, okay. Eat your vegetables, Erica. Eat your vegetables, girl. Go ahead and do what you got to do. Because I was looking at her like, is that supposed to like make someone? I don't understand why colorless women freak out over that word, but am I supposed to like go off? So I'm looking at Erica like, good job. And Erica kept going. Dorit tried to be like, well, I've got a lot going on. I don't know what's going on with you, Erica. And Erica's like, you do know what's going on with me. I'm being sued. My husband is in jail, in prison. The judge is not granting her a divorce, and she had to give them earrings back. Okay, Erica does have a lot going on. And while I do think she should not have said she did not give a fuck about the victims, and while I also feel like, yes, it was her husband's business, but she should have read the fine print. Shady was not the one intentionally out here screwing people over. I will say that. And she is going through something because of someone else's actions. So, Dorit, you're not the only person going through anything. So what does Doris do when she's read for filth? She runs off from the table. And Erica continued to eat that ass up. She said, oh, what are you going to do? You're just going to leave? I'm like, yep, that's what Dorit does. So she runs off from the table. And I just found it to be funny because Dorit was like, I don't have to argue with this. You know what I've learned through my separation is that if you've learned that, Dorit, then why are you picking fights with everybody that says something you don't agree with? You don't pick fights with Erica. You've tried to get at Bose. You've gotten at Kyle. You've gotten at everybody on the cast but Rachel. You haven't learned anything. And I think the way that Dorit is acting is the reason why her husband don't want her. Because we have to remember who left too. That's all I'm going to say. He wanted to leave. He got away from Dorit, got sober, got his credit in order, lost some weight. He got away from Dorit and his life improved. And I would imagine that watching something like that probably makes people feel away. But Kathy's old ass goes to run after her because Kyle said to Dorit, she's like, if you're committed to see the bad in me, and when I do try with you, you're snapping at me. But if I talk to you and you're concerned and you view that as me having a problem, then guess what? I'm done fucking arguing with you. I'm done with it. You don't have to be my friend. And the ladies were trying to tell Kyle, like, girl, like, are you sure you don't want to be her friend? Like, yeah, she's sure. And I agree with Kyle. And let me tell y'all the biggest reason I agree with Kyle, which I hate. It's not normal. It's nauseating. I think Dorit is leaning into Kyle for a storyline with this beef. I do. I don't think she's that mad. I think she feels away, but I don't think she's so mad that they can't have a conversation and repair some shit because everything that Kyle is doing and does, Dorit was okay with until it came time for her to be held accountable in her divorce to a certain extent. So I feel like Dorit wants to have a beef with Kyle. And when Kyle did say that to her, she's like, but Kyle, do you really think that? And Kyle was like, no, I'm done. So I'm looking at that. I'm like, you're trying to argue with someone who just told you they're done arguing with you and you can see them how they see you. Like, Doris, Miss D, you just want to be on camera, and Kyle is not going to let you use her for that no more. And as quiet as it's kept, we don't really care about y'all beef because both of you bitches is messy. But the dinner was a mess. It was an absolute mess. Kathy could not get Dorit back to the table. And it's interesting because Dorit said while crying to Kathy and in the confessional, she thought that she could count on Erica. Didn't you just say to Erica in your argument with her that you haven't checked on her because she doesn't share things with you and you're not that close? Now that she's read you for filth, now you thought you could count on her? It's looking like anybody that tells you the truth about yourself, Dorit, you're going to say has Kyle's mind.
Yep.
And I don't think Kyle has that much power on this show anymore. If this were a couple seasons ago, like maybe around the time that Lisa Rinna was here, I might feel like Dorit had a plight. And I might feel like, okay, Kyle is, moving people to be on her side. But Dorit, all of these people were offended by you independently. That has nothing to do with Kyle. That has to do with you. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments. James, how you feel about all of that dinner, which took up most of the episode. And I'm sorry it made me talk for so long.
No, you're good. No. It's fine. I felt like Dorit was being delusional as hell. I feel like she was trying to make the situation that puts her in the victim mode. And I didn't like that because Erica had a complete valid point. And Kyle did too. I just feel like we're letting her just have her, as someone said in the comments, her Karen moments where she gets to be angry, she gets to be aggressive. And see, the thing about it is I question everyone's intelligence at the table because the moment she started doing all of that, I just would have looked at her. Because there's no getting through to her. There's no talking. There's no reasoning. Why waste your breath? Especially Erica, because you didn't even like her in the beginning. Y'all just became
friends. Erica and Dorit have never liked each other. And that's my biggest point for this show. Dorit, none of these women like you. Everyone on this show from the moment that Dorit joined for her first season has only dealt with her because of her husband. Nobody liked her. When she came on the show, her and PK came on as friends of Lisa Vanderpump. PK was actually the friend. And Lisa was like, and his wife, she seems lovely. So I'm interested in getting to know her. Nobody gave a fuck about Dorit. Nobody knew who she was. Nobody was checking for her name in the streets. Nobody knew of what she was doing. Nobody knew her. And now people have only dealt with her because her and Kyle became the dynamic duo that Kyle used to be with LVP. But then people only was dealing with Dorit because of Kyle. And I'm talking about the cast, not the audience. I know there are some fans of Dorit out there, but nobody on the show has really ever dealt with Dorit except for based on who she's connected with. And that sounds mean, but listen, if it walk like a duck and it quack like a duck, okay. It's the doggone duck. Let me get these comments. Lord help us. JB said, Erica told y'all she from Connecticut. Dorit told us she's from Connecticut with that fake accent. Both of her parents did immigrate over here, though. And her accent was stronger than theirs. I said, make it make sense. She'd be full of it. Dorit, Doris, Dorilla, Dorinda, Dorlina, Dorita, Dorito.
In that order.
Kevin said, never had any hopes for Bose when she championed Dorit. That in itself turned me all the way off. Me too, Kevin. I mean, a champion for a Karen is wild. Hashtag diabolical. Preach. Especially when you coming on talking about you proud and African and black, but not all Africans like black people. Just saying. Teddy called out Dorito being late years ago. She did. And everybody got at Teddy, which is crazy. But Teddy was right, but I don't want the accountability coach back either. I do hope she's doing well with her. I know she's fighting brain cancer? So I do hope that she's doing okay. That took Erica off guard. LVP
and as it should have.
LVP was the Housewives of Beverly Hills, period. Yet she too is a subliminal racist Karen. True,
Yeah,
but she was the show. She was the show.
yeah.
She's why people kept watching because no one really cared for Kyle or any of them. Let me see. Erica took the sensitivity filter off. She snapped.
She was within
I
her right to
wouldn't
do
say
so.
she's. I don't think she snapped, but she was, like you said, in
She
her
done,
right.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
she took off the sensitivity filter. She did take that off, and she was within her right. I don't think she snapped either. I just feel like you can't tell a woman who is literally finna go on trial for a $25 million lawsuit, whose husband is in prison for the shit he committed, that she cannot divorce because they're waiting for all these lawsuits to get settled, and he's not even
Her son
competent to.
also doesn't want much to do with her right now because of all the negative publicity that is attached to her. So, Dorit, there's other people going through it.
Yeah, it was like, so for you to tell her, well, what are you going through? You never shared that with me. And it was like, so you wanted her to verbally say, I am going crazy, insane, and stuff like, because then that means that takes the spotlight off of you. So that's what you want to read? I don't think so. I think I think you bit off more than you could chew, and she's going to catch your ass in another situation where it's you being a narcissist.
It's
Because why
like
is it
Kyle
always about
said,
you?
it's on the internet. So if something about me is all over the internet, I'm going to go to my friend and be like, so did you see the articles about me? That's what Dorit wanted her to do. She's thinking from the perspective of herself and how she would move. Dumb bitch. Can't stand her. Dorit was stumbling. Erica pulled no punches. Dorit can go because to me, you're not housewife material if you can let somebody like Erica talk to you the way that they did, and all you do is walk away. Even Sutton said something to her. No, I will not be quiet. And these are valid questions. If you're gonna, even Sutton got back at Erica when Erica tried that shit with her. Doris couldn't say nothing but call her a see you next Tuesday and run off, thinking someone would run off after her. And it took forever for them to decide who. Because what's funny is you would think that Bose or Rachel, the people who supported you the most, you think they'd be the one to go after Dorit, not Kathy, the sister of who just says she's done with her. But okay,
You know,
Dorit.
I digress. You know, I digress. But you know, Sutton said, Eric, I'm not gonna be quiet because y'all remember, Sutton don't fight with people unless they wallets fit.
That's right. That's right. She said, when Erica cried, I empathized. She was frustrated and was mad that she even cares that much
I
about
didn't
Dorit.
empathize with her. No,
I didn't empathize with
I didn't
Erica,
empathize with her at
but
all.
what I will say, I think her tears. So the way I am, people don't understand. Like in situations when I was a young, out of control, young, wild, and dumb, when I get mad, it's silence, absolute silence and tears right before I smack the shit out of somebody or take off. Some people are like that. I didn't feel like Erica was sad or frustrated. I felt like she was just mad and sick of it.
It was kind of like a why don't you see this? Like, why don't
Yeah.
you get it? Like that's
Them
where the
tears
like
was to
that's
keep
them
from
is
hurting
tears, yeah.
Dorit's feelings even further. And I also think those tears were to keep her from reading Bose and Rachel for filth because I feel like they really annoyed Erica as well.
They annoyed me too. I wouldn't have been mad if Erica cussed them out. I wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have been mad at all because the thing about it is you have Rachel over there that just got here and is trying to kiss Doris's feet, and then you have Bose over there who's spreading the gossip just as much as Kyle, but it's completely signed and mum's the word at this table because she feel like one word will get her, you know, backed into a corner. So she's being quiet. Bose, you ain't slick. I see you.
Mm-hmm. All I'm gonna say is if somebody called my friend to see you next Tuesday and I'm right beside them, I'm gonna be like, you watch your mouth, bitch, unless you feel like getting handled today. Bose just sat there, Rachel too. So they don't care about you that much, Doris. But okay, girl, go off. Um, Erica was like a sleeper agent activated. I feel like she's been waiting the right moment to go bad, but because of all of the publicity, I do feel like Erica is more careful now with how she acts. Because
Mm-hmm.
when she was wanting to go bad at first, then I don't give a fuck about the victims and I don't care about this. The audience came down on her. I do think she's learning her lesson and will learn her lesson because I truly believe she'll be in lawsuits until that man dies.
Yep.
I really believe
And
that.
then it's going to transfer right over to her like it would do in any ordinary marriage. But the
Yeah.
thing about Erica is, no, I think Erica was still filming about Dorit leaving them in that, you know, that little deserted town. I think she was
Mm-hmm.
mad about that. And I think that's why she got activated, which
You're
she
not
was
gonna
well
do
within.
some shit like that and then come to a table and try to act like you're a victim.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
what? You took
I
their
think,
bus when you could have called your own Italian Uber because you're the fluent speaking Italian person here? Girl, bye.
right.
We cannot. And my little sister says she don't even speak Italian that well. My sister lived in Italy when she was getting out of high school. Dorit don't even speak it in the correct way, she says. Shout out to Naima Travels. Naya said this was a good dinner scene. Dorit drama. Kyle's veins appeared. Erica cried. Kathy chased her. Kathy walked after Dorit. Bose's horrible wig. Sutton's eyes watered. Amanda was quiet. Let me tell y'all something about Amanda. She knows when to be quiet. And I'm glad that Amanda is moving the way she's moving because she's doing what Bose should have done, which was be herself, stand on her own 2 feet. And when it ain't got shit to do with her, she sits there silently. That's what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely. That's why I have no problem with Amanda. That's
Not
why, and
one
Amanda
problem.
bet Bravo on that call, so Amanda better get it next season and let her have the option of whether or not she wants to be here or not.
I feel
Because
like Amanda will get a next season because she didn't do what Angel Massey and Kiarna did on Housewives of Potomac, which nobody can make me believe that they declined being offered back full time. I don't think they were offered back full time, but I don't know. Amanda's doing better. Amanda said, I'm unbothered, but the girls said, we're investigating. Hi, Vibe. Y'all check out Vibe X. He also reviews this show. He does a lot of cool content. His channel is an AI-based channel as well. Great use of technology. Tap in, tap in, tap in with him. Bose came on this show ready, not for friendships, but for the full background checks. That's actually, yeah. People say she makes it feel like an HR meeting, which makes me laugh. There would have to be space for more than Doritos problems for Erica to open up. Thank you. Because Dorit says that, but a lot of time when her friends do try to talk about themselves from what I've seen on this season, she's saying like, yeah, but I've got this going on because of the divorce. And it's like, well, nobody can talk to you about their problems if it's always about you.
as if you're not sitting at a table full of women who are not going through divorces.
They're literally all divorced.
They're literally 4 of y'all that are going through a divorce. There's Erica, Kyle, Rachel, and Natalie. Literally 4 women are going through a divorce right now. So you in good company, baby. Trust me. You ain't. It's not like they can't relate to you. At least not at one of them.
That's the truth. This part, Sandra, you are correct. These are coworkers. So if we just take Sandra's argument and apply it to everybody, they would all have to shut the you know what up because they are coworkers. And these people, like, it's not like back in the day, or sometimes you get a reality show and it's like, okay, they know each other, they're bonded. If this was like the Housewives of New Jersey, I would accept some of these arguments because, you know, on New Jersey, they'd be family members, knowing each other, actual friends off the show before it aired. These women are only in each other's circle intermingling because of this show. It is their job and they are paid to do it. I don't expect shit from my coworkers and I like them. Some of them subscribe. Shout out to my SFHP team. But I absolutely, like, your coworkers are your coworkers. If something pivotal happens in your life, like a divorce, a death, a marriage, a child, a loss of a pregnancy, a loss of income, credit issues, that's not something I'm talking to my coworkers about. You feel me? I'm just not. And I understand for Housewives, people think, oh, they have to talk about some of it to an extent. They do, but not to this, not like this. I love that, Sandra, because they sure are coworkers and you got to expect what you can from them. Hi, Doctor. Happy Friday.
Dr. Jim Bunny in the house.
I like Amanda too. She may be.
I'm still on the fence.
I like Amanda because I'm sure whatever's going on with her business, if it's shady, one thing that's true when you're in the spotlight, what's going on in the dark and what's happened in the dark, it's going to come to the light and it's going to shine brighter than the fucking diamond that they hold in the intro. And that's just how it goes.
I would love to believe that, like, this money persona is not who she, you know, always is, because that's all we see is her talking about money and what she about to spend it on and this and this and that, or how she makes it. I would love to see her outside of the money. If I could see her outside of the money, I might like her, but for now it's just it's like Kyle. It's too pretentious.
I mean, that is who she's friends with and whose house she bought. Amanda's also new money, and new money oftentimes comes off as extremely pretentious, but I always give people a first season pass. Y'all have heard me say that before. And separate from that, I like anybody, pretentious or not, who is themselves authentically and isn't looking like they got to pick sides just to fit in and blend with the group. She's just here on her own. I respect it. None of the others could do that. I want Dory to keep getting whacked.
Me
We all
too.
do. We all do. Bose, who are you for real? Not a friend.
And she don't even know.
She don't even
No,
know.
I'm just serious. Anybody who wear wigs like that and always look like she in a costume, they don't know who they are.
That's actually true. That's actually true. Some people express it like Rachel Zoe, someone into fashion and things like that. She's always in a caftan, is who she is. But Bose does move differently depending on who she's around. Like the Bose who's interviewed at Black events, or there's like an NAACP event, I
Hmm.
believe that happened a few weeks back. Unapologetically back, whole different person from Speak to all of that. The Bose with these women, different, shady, the Bose elsewhere. So I don't know. But her wigs, I agree, Dr. Jen, they're terrible. They get worse with time. They get worse. Yeah, the corporate personas turning people off. I don't want to see nobody acting like they in corporate America when I'm not at work watching TV, unless I'm watching a show about people running a corporation. But this show is not about that
No, it's
at
literally
all.
about women who living off their husband's money
Yep, or exes.
or exes.
Housewives of Miami was the only friend group. Was. I don't.
Was,
I
and I
think their
feel
friend group
like,
in the earlier seasons was better than it is
yeah,
today for
and I feel like
Miami.
New Jersey, they were natural friends before filming, or at
They
least,
were. They
yeah,
were. Yeah. A
yeah.
lot of them have known each other, but I'm starting to think like me and James are from California. He stays in Arizona for now. I'm a California girl, born and raised. I'm trying to tell y'all. Shout out to the Bay Area, but I feel like on the East Coast, from what I've seen with reality television, no matter what network it is, whenever they cast people for East Coast shows, everyone knows each other, went to high school. Maybe it's because the states are smaller, and people are getting to know each other more, but I don't know. The wigs are terrible. I like first pass Amanda before the questions, the pressure, and the side eye. She was just vibing. Now everybody's doing investigations. Investigate through Chat GPT. Lord.
Mhm, mhm.
That's why Bose needs to go on a corporate reality TV show. Well, Amanda actually shed light on something that I looked into. The corporate rumors about Bose are not great. And it looks like that's why her tenures at all of her corporate jobs are so short, which isn't always a good thing. But I would like to see her on a corporate reality show to see how she interacts with other bosses in corporate. I would love to see that. I think Bo's style couldn't get more odd. Then she appears in bright Technicolor clothes. Her clothes be cute.
Yeah,
They
her
do.
outfits don't be that questionable. It's just the hair.
The hair and
It's
makeup
just
is horrible.
yeah. It's just like, I, like I want. I've never been so curious to see what she has underneath the wigs. She must ain't got no hair
Especially that
because
big ass hump. No, she has hair under there because there's a big ass hump on every wig that she has, which tells me her braid down was a fail. Just saying.
well,
She's
then
got
she should
hair.
wear. Well, she need to wear weaves then, like because for her to be wearing these heavy ass like 10-pound wigs, like I'm just sorry, it's like that has to be heavy. You have to have a headache after you take that off, and then it's like, ugh,
I don't know what the hell Bose is doing with
yeah.
her hair, but at this point, whoever does her hair, don't let her tag you no more because we're not gonna call. Um, right, Technicolor. It was a Technicolor dress though. I could not. Helmet hat. That's what my husband calls women who wear wigs and look crazy. And honestly, most men, no shade to the women out here who love wigs. If you cannot afford to lay your wig like it looks like it's part of your head, don't wear it because trust and believe somebody is looking at you crazy and talking about you.
Absolutely. I had met somebody. I didn't even know that was a wig on her head. I saw her at the mall, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like that's a wig." She said, "Yeah," and then she pulled it back a little bit. I said, "Oh, babe, put that back down. That's okay.
Lord, not
It's
the
too many white
helmet
people."
hump to heaven, Naya. The helmet to salvation. Y'all are roasted bows for filth. Hairgate bows. That's what and if they had someone else to host the reunion, just hire somebody black or let me come in like y'all did Nicki Minaj so I could ask her to fire her hairstylist. Please. You don't even got to air it. I just want her to know that the black community is tired. We don't want to see this. I'd rather you wear the natural fro that grows out of your hair. than these wigs pose.
Even her
Please.
wearing a bob be too much. I'd be like, well, how the hell does wearing a bob too much? She just
Her facial structure is strong, and her makeup artist, that's why I always say is the makeup artist failing her as well. When you do the makeup of a chocolate woman, especially one that doesn't just look African American, but looks actually African or some form of black outside of the America, we have different features, high cheekbones. You have to know what you're doing, and her makeup artist don't know what she's doing. Not the hair doctor. Lord help us. He's styling Karen and Mary. Right.
oh, Mary has come a long, long way with them wigs. Oh my
He still got
lord.
a ways to go,
She
but
still got a
we gonna
ways
give
to
her
go, but let
grace.
me tell you, I mean, she on Route 66. She on her way to the destination because when I tell you Mary has come a long way, it looks
She
so much
came
better.
on the Housewives of Salt Lake City with the hair of a crackhead while she was making comments about people in 7-Eleven. She looked like the people who stand outside of 7-Eleven with her season 1 wigs that ask you for change as you coming out.
Them season one wigs, them stringy bangs,
Tragedy. Tragedy. If I
and then
walked into a church and the first lady had a wig like that, I'm walking out in the
and
name of
then
Jesus.
she and then she was bleaching her skin. The makeup was way too light on her complexion. It was like Mary.
A mess. People in
Yeah,
these wigs are
yes.
crazy.
You know, in Phoenix, you'll find anybody. I'm telling you, Kevin, in Phoenix, you'll find anybody. But I really was like, oh my gosh, your hair is so cute. And I
It's
normally
too
don't do
hot
that.
in Phoenix for wigs.
Oh, they
It's
wear
too
them.
hot
No,
in
they wear
Phoenix
them.
for wigs. I know they wear them, but I'm just like, but
Ooh.
I don't understand why anybody wants to live in the desert. My sister's out there right now
Oh,
because
is she?
her boyfriend is from I think Scott's something, but she flew in Scottsdale. Is it Scottsdale?
She got money, money. She flew into Scottsdale.
No, she flew into Phoenix and
Oh,
then
I was gonna say she got money, money, because
that's where her
that's the
boyfriend.
private charter over there.
No, she flew into Phoenix to go to Scottsdale. That's where her boyfriend is from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's one of them people who moved to the Bay and kind of ruined it, making it expensive. Please stop moving to California. The bridge toll is $8.50 just across the bridge. Gas is $7.59 a gallon,
Uh,
$6.59 if you find an
Phoenix people,
Arco.
child.
I,
Phoenix people saying California don't move out here. California saying Phoenix people don't move out there. It's like what the
please, everybody, just stay where you from for a second, please.
no,
Before
because
we
then
move
that mean I
forward
would
to
have
the
to
big
come back.
news, some more comments. Not them smiling at each other's faces just to drag each other in the confessionals. That's what they do. That's what they do. Vibe. Mary's season on German Shepherd wig had the audacity to call Britney's coat a German Shepherd hair. That part, Jen.
I'm sorry, that shit was funny. Mary had audacity, but that shit was funny.
I hope we get Funny Mary back. I just had this conversation about The Rock wearing a wig for Moana. If they would hire black stylists, I'm sure it would have worked out. I'm trying to tell you. They need to hire the stylist who's doing them wigs in Avatar. Okay, because I was looking at them go through that little land. I said, not them getting it right. Me and my husband was at the theater. We said, we know somebody black is working on these braid downs. I know somebody is. Because I was looking at Avatar and then looking at the CGI. I said, not they have the colorless in these black wigs. Look at God. The hair doctor style. Thank God. He does Karen from Housewives of Potomac and Baltimore cheerleaders
That's
hair.
somebody else who got their wigs together very quickly. You know, it didn't take her long like it took Mary. Karen used to wear her wigs went way the fuck back here and used to expose all that
Karen's
forehead.
wigs still be a problem. She just don't be a problem when she's on camera. But I think Karen's problem is her forehead. I just think it's her forehead.
Yeah,
But I'm a
yeah,
digress.
because it go way back here. So that's why, she do what Quad be doing. They be putting that applique, and Natalie Nunn too. I saw Natalie Nunn do it because they pulled her wig off, and I saw that big ass thing there. I said, oh wow,
That's what
okay.
they all do. That's how you get it to stay. The
I
glue.
don't do it look like I wear a wig. I don't know nothing
I
about
know,
that
I'm just
shit.
saying, Fred, that's what you should be doing with the wig. That's where people be looking fucked up. They just be throwing it on their head thinking
Yeah, I
real
learned
serious.
something new every day. Hell, I didn't even know that existed. I
Yes,
was
you
like, no
supposed to
wonder.
fuck your
I
wigs. You
just
gotta
thought that
fetch
they just
your
pulled. I
wigs.
just thought they pulled it down all the way
No,
right here.
there are
Oh,
sprays you gotta use on the hair to keep the hair fresh so it don't look dead and look crusty. You got to glue it. Some of them come with the adhesive to attach it to you. You got your glueless, your 360.
not
I don't wear
adhesive.
wigs, y'all, but if I wanted to, I could. And part of why I don't wear wigs is because you have to get it right or you're going to look crazy and it's going to be like back in the 90s when if someone was in a wig, you was talked about. Okay, get it right. But to finish out this episode, all these heifers go back to the United States of America that are not united at all. Politics has been stressing me out. Can y'all tell? And Dorita's having a photo shoot for a book that she is not writing. And she was told that a good thing that authors do is they release the cover of their book before the book is out. That is true. I have heard this from authors. I've seen this from authors that I follow. It is common and true. But baby, the anticipation is not there now that I know you have a ghostwriter. Because if it was anyone else, like if this was someone like Bose even, who's having someone to write a book for her, she's done a lot in the industry. She's done a lot professionally. She's something to revel and respect. What has Doris done that could go in a book that's going to interest us? Are we just throwing money at these already rich bitches? Especially the ones that mismanage their money. Is that what we're doing? Because I didn't understand it. But she did look good for her little book shooting. And I love seeing Rachel take over behind the camera. Like that one could be touched up. This one looks good. That's the sign of Rachel Zoe we need to see. No other sign. But they talk about the issues that happen in Italy. Bose is there as well. And Dorit pretty much takes no accountability for anything. Everything that happened on that trip was somebody else's fault. And she kind of has the attitude of she's going through hell and everyone needs to fall in line. Narcissist. But, you know, Bose changed up her stripes again, the messy bitch that she is. Because in this scene, Bose says that the difference between her and Kyle is that Bose offers feedback without judgment and that Kyle doesn't. How do you know that, Bose? You just got here. How can you judge if someone else is being judgmental? Do y'all see the irony in that? You're literally judging someone else for being judgmental. And then you a flip-flopping asshole who's changed how you really felt about something. And maybe she should have waited on her photo shoot since her mortgage is $96,000 past due. California, go get her ass the way you go get regular middle-class people who don't pay their mortgage. What are we doing?
And I have a question, because $96,000, how many months is that behind?
Probably several.
Yes, because to me, I've known someone who literally was 3 months behind and that foreclosure went up like no other. How many months is that? Is that 3 months? Is she on month number 3? Or is that 6 months? Because some tells me that's her mortgage can't be no more than $20,000.
I mean, in the state of California right now, before you end up foreclosed, you have to be at least 6 months past due. So
okay, so she should be right there.
That notice means that she was at least half of an entire year, half of 365 days out the year. That hoe wasn't paying her rent. And I'm mad because I just paid my $2,600 rent and this bitch can't pay her mortgage. Dorit. Well, PK was handling it. He's been gone. So what's your excuse this time? Because the house was in foreclosure before. So also, and last time it was, oh, I thought PK was doing it. Well, now he's gone. What's the reason?
That's right. She was in foreclosure before because
this is the third time.
Oh, so you know, so because she went on Watch What Happens Live and she said that she didn't know that the mortgage wasn't being paid.
Let me explain something to everybody. As Bose reminded us and Kyle, everything is in Dorit's name. The house is in Dorit's name. The PG&E is in Dorit's name. The goddamn mortgage is in Dorit's name. The house insurance is in Dorit's name. How could she must have just not been checking her mail.
That's
because
crazy.
I'm sure she got them red notices in the mail. I'm sure she got that notice. Dorit is full of it, but she took no accountability, y'all. And Bose is full of shit. Did you want to add anything to their scene?
No, because it was what I thought it was going to be. I'm over them.
Rachel's son has a job. I'm not going over this scene. She tried to ask her son about their dad. The son said he's good. I respect you, Rachel, because I think that no matter how rich you are, it's very important. What's up? Always interrupt to be alive. Go away. See, I lost my train of thought. Go do something with yourself. Where you don't get dinner, Negro. I don't have to cook you shit. Watch that. He got on my nerves just now, y'all. Apologies. Mr. Best is doing what he does. I love that Rachel's kids work. I started working when I was 14. Didn't like it. Was avoided the hell out of it. Swore I was going to marry a rich man. James was working when I met him in high school and has not stopped. I think a lot of people, if you don't grow up rich, your kids, they turn 16. In California, I had to get a work permit from my school for whatever reason, even though none of that was acknowledged. It said I wasn't supposed to work more than 4 hours. And okay, I worked at Jamba Juice. I had a job at Taco Bell. I worked at Kennedy Park passing out tickets with Christina Gattini. Shout out to her. And I feel like it helped build a work ethic. So I think it's wonderful that Rachel has that mindset. Just because her kids are privileged and have everything doesn't mean that you should not help them to develop a work ethic. I would have liked to have seen more of that from Rachel.
Yeah, because I worked at Round Table Pizza, their call center, when I was 14. Very young, working up in there because everybody else was grown. And I also had to get a work permit. And they didn't acknowledge that shit because it was 16 hours back in my time and I worked 25 hours. So, yeah, but yeah, it was, yeah. So that's one thing about California. When you have connections, it's easy to get a job when you're younger. So I know that Rachel's connections definitely landed that job, and I'm not mad at that. I think more parents should use their connections.
I don't even think the connection matters. If your kid can get a job and make their own money, and 9 times out of 10, your first job, like you said, you need the connection. I just thought it was nice to see. But I think something about Rachel Zoe people liked and the Rachel Zoe project and today is no matter how much money she has, she liked what she liked, but she's still down to earth as it relates to interacting with others. So I do like that about Rachel. And if she comes back next season, I want to see Rachel Zoe show more because she has a storyline. She's got these babies that we can watch grow up. She's also can show us her divorce if she decides. And if she doesn't show the divorce, then she could do like Sutton and come on the show and show herself basically reestablishing her life and independence after her divorce. She has options. I just want Rachel to be more like Amanda and avoid the bullshit that doesn't have to do with her. If it's not your flight, it ain't your plight, baby. It should be that simple. It should be that simple. But other than that, I don't mind Rachel. Let me get these comments. I'm fucking up the church's money. I apologize, y'all. I apologize. Oh, where am I at? Okay, here we go. Ooh, no, I was way behind. I told y'all to tell me to shut the hell up. Lord, I'm missing all of these comments. I'm so sorry. Got that, not the long forehead. Of course, that's where I start. Karen of Housewives of Potomac came a long way as far as her hairline is from her brows. They be saying Drew Sidora came up. Drew's wigs wasn't applied wrong, but they used to look dry and brittle. Like you could just tell she done run it through the curling iron with all sorts of grease.
Yeah, then she put it was because they weren't bad. It just burning the shit up. Yeah, like and Robin used to do.
Be from Chicago. They do hair pretty well out there. What are you doing, girl? Do better. Yeah. I wish I could post gifts. I would find Karen sliding the wig back on from that picnic. I
want to see where Karen's hair begins and ends because that wig flew back. I still didn't see no damn hair. I was like, whoa.
It was just forehead. I'm telling y'all.
I need to see where like I want to see where her head. Yeah.
And Austin Powers, the little mini me. I feel like Karen just rocking a ball fit under there. I do. They could just get micro links. She could have. It was funny how they did just appear back in California. I mean, that trip was a mess. If I was production editing that, I would have been like, fuck it. These hoes are back in the Golden State. It's similar to a sew-on, but you have to get reattached in 6 to 8 months and it grows out. I've seen that. I actually want to look for someone to do that. I think there's like the micro links, the permanent ones, and then there's the permanent locks, or it could be the same thing. I want that, and the only stylist I can find are on the East Coast. And I'm very weird about going to the East Coast because I don't like snow. And it snows differently over there, so we'll see. Nothing but a boring book with ghostwriters, Lord. Dorita's a dingbat. She is. No substance, none. That's why her husband left. He had to use substances to have some substance until he got away from her. Okay, I'll be quiet, James. I'm gonna behave. Naya said, I am hollering. Yes, scream a little louder, darling. Dorit gives me that she's been a mean girl. Yep, clock it, Dr. Jen, all of her life. Nobody just suddenly becomes that narcissistic after a breakup. A breakup doesn't change who you are or your personality. I know people like to make it seem that way. In some ways, it is a rebirth, but you're still you. You're still you, Doris. In Dorit's name. Yeah, everything's in her name. So she has no excuse to not know that her mortgage was not paid and to do nothing. If you knew your mortgage wasn't paying, which at the time of this filming, it wasn't, the last thing I'd be doing is buying a fucking Kelly bag on national TV so I could fit in. I would be on the phone saying, yes, I'd like to make a payment. I'd rather be caught doing that than a Kelly bag.
I
And then
keep telling because I got on Monica from Real Housewives. That's all they say about that too. Y'all don't need no damn expensive ass bag. Go to Ross, go to Marshalls, go to TJ Maxx, get you one of them, get you a few of them purses that cost
Calvin
$66.99,
Klein, Michael
Calvin Klein, and
Kors,
rock that shit. And then
Steve Madden.
You don't need no Range Rover, girl. If you go get you a Honda Odyssey and rock that shit in
Live
LA.
within your means.
Yes.
Please. That's what made Housewives get on the map. Live within your means. PK said this yo shit. It is. He wanted her gone. He was okay with downsizing too when he went through all of the financial issues. Dorit did not want to. So by not downsizing, she probably put them in a situation that made it hard.
That our children are accustomed to. And it was like,
I'd have moved so many times in
me
childhood.
too.
And I'm all right.
Right. I'm doing just fine.
Just
I'd have
fine.
moved every other 2 years. Having a single mama, that's what they do. Listen, when the rent cheaper somewhere else, pack that shit up and come on.
Please. She said that was cool what Rachel did with her kids. I do agree. Roger's messing up though. I hope this is Sutton's last season as well. I think we're all in the without Garcelle and how bad Sutton flip-flopped. I don't see it for Sutton anymore on this show. And I think that's why in real time today, Sutton is back to apologizing to Garcelle and now saying she has regret. Because without Garcelle, she's seeing these women don't respect you. You turned on the wrong person.
So here's how I feel. This is going to be a stretch out of hell, but y'all work with me. That's the only way I would accept Sutton back is if Christian's new girlfriend, her former friend, comes on the show as well.
That makes sense. No,
way.
that does make sense because she should have told us about that in the beginning, and we probably would have been more interested.
Yes, because I'm still not letting that go. Jennifer Tilly, I love you. Thank you for spilling the beans. Because Jennifer Tilly said,
I don't think Sutton would even do the show though if she were to come. I really don't. I just don't. Her kids are grown. She don't have a reason to be around the woman. So I don't think Sutton would. Sutton gives me she'll run and go cry.
Well, I want to see that too. So yeah, that's fine.
He said I want to see it all. I too think Karen Huger is bald-headed. I'm telling you, Karen probably got all sorts of patches under that head. It looked like California's meadows during the drought.
Karen Reynolds, remember, she told everybody that the ladies in prison took out their braids and put it in her hair. She has hair.
A lot of people have hair with braids and they shouldn't wear it. Lord help us. But we gonna finish this out, you guys. They go to who was this party for? Oh, I skipped the whole scene. Bose and Keely look at a home. They're not married. They're trying to have a baby. They haven't known each other a long time. And I felt like it was bullshit. And they only looked at this house for the show because the house was smaller than what Bose has now. Keely, we know, can't afford it because we saw his little apartment in San Diego. And I just felt like they were trying to show something. If you know that the house didn't even have enough rooms, why are you looking at it? Do you want to add anything to Bose and Keely?
No, because I didn't even see that scene.
Instead of wasting money on a house, Bose, if you're going to have your hair fucked up, then at least show the man that you love him and pay for him to go see a hair transplant specialist. Call Bosley. Call whoever you got to call.
Or just rock a bald head. He got the face features for it.
Like, crazy. Every time he looks down, the sun shines right into his head. His head, the top of it, looks like when you see a shallow creek for like fly fishing, and you could see to the bottom of the creek, you could see the pebbles and the rocks and whatever fish are. That's what his head looks like when the sun shines. Let it go, Keely. But he may be considering letting go of his job, asking if she was still going to love him if he ain't got no job. So,
Dr. Jen Bunny, you on timeout. That
Why is
almost
she
took
on
me. That
turnout?
almost took me out.
Why?
You don't see her
Why?
comment?
The patches and bows.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's the truth. A plum fool for telling us about jail hair.
Right. That was I agree. That was some crazy shit
Hey,
she
I'm not gonna
said.
lie though. The best braiders, they be in jail. I said what I said. They be in jail. I went once. I did a very long time ago, and I went there. I was like, no, because I had back in the day, I had a quick weave in. It was glue in. They made me take that shit out in processing. I couldn't believe it. I said, oh my God, I'm out here looking like I'm fresh out the womb. And them OGs on the unit, that's like, come over here, baby. What you in here for? And they must have braid. I came out looking better than I went in. That was back in 2008. I said, oh Lord, what a time. What a
Well, if
time.
you're in there with Jody area, she could order you some braids, some amateur crochets from Amazon.
We can't do that in California, but she
Yeah, because what
got
I
put in
tell
the right
you,
place.
yeah, let me tell you, Amazon packages every day. When my friend was telling me that, I said, "Now wait a minute, hold the fuck up. How the hell do you get Amazon packages in prison?"
I'll crack it up. But you know what? I did work in a psychiatric facility out here that is where the criminally insane go. So it was locked up like a prison. And people can get packages. We had to go through it, of course, but people were able to get packages. It wasn't usually from Amazon, but Kevin said, let's remember what Karen Huger's hair looked like on that infamous arrest video when she called herself Thomas Jefferson's concubine. The fact that she still thinks she's a grand dame when she called herself a concubine is crazy
Well, the
work.
fact that she still has a fucking job after what she did, okay.
Honestly, that too, but Bravo didn't want to deal with the race issues. And I feel like that's also why a lot of these Beverly Hills housewives are scared to say something to Bose. I'm gonna behave, Dr. Jen. That was a long time ago. I was 17 out here. If you do something bad enough and you're over 16, they put you with the adults.
They
They
sure
put my
do.
ass with the adults, and I learned my lesson. I never went back. I think before I speak. I went to college. I changed my life. I went to therapy. I said, I'm going to control my anger because that's exactly what got me in trouble. Exactly what got me in trouble. But I've been delivered. Lord. Actually, the smartest people are in jail. And I feel like they don't know what to do with the impulse and that energy from their brain. So they do dumb
Yeah.
shit. But there be some highly intelligent people in jail. That's why I say don't never count nobody out unless they essay child person beating on with like certain things, obviously, but don't count them all out. Don't count them out. Her having fans and she can't admit she's an alcoholic is wild to me. I know. That's where she lost a lot of people, but she's still on the show. I don't know what she'll give, but baby, she needs the check. Karen needs the check. She does need to work on her, and she's not going to be able to do that on TV. Nobody can. Not that girl who was drunk on Housewives of New York, not anybody who struggles with substances. You can't work on it on TV. Some stuff is meant to be private. But there is a party. I forgot who had this party. Rachel Zoe's
birthday party. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't really care. She put on another caftan. It was a disco party because Rachel Zoe says Studio 54 lives rent free in her mind, even though she didn't really give that. But on the way to the party, we do see Dorit and Bose in the car together. And what is Dorit doing? She's talking about herself. Well, Phoenix, the kids went to school and I got a call. She was having anxiety and
yeah, because they've been homeschooled they've been homeschooled this entire time, and
But
now
you thought your
finally I have a
kids
regular school.
were better than a public school. I'm just saying. And I understand why her kids wouldn't go to public school. Put them in private school. There are great private schools all throughout Southern California. California and New York has some of the
she
best
can't afford her mortgage.
education.
She can't afford her mortgage. How the hell she gonna put the kids in private school?
Well, she better shut the fuck up and learn how to actually go to those mediations
Who
and
was
stop making
who was
life
a
difficult.
celebrity? Was it
Because I'm
Tori
sure a judge would tell PK that he has to pay for half of his children's school costs. But her kids are in school. I'm like, Doris, they've never been to school. They have anxiety. That's your fault. People homeschool their kids. I was homeschooled at one point in school by my dad. during the time I was homeschooled, they would put us into like Boys and Girls Club because that's what we had out here so that they could get socialization. Let's go into school psychology for just a quick moment. Dorit's kids have anxiety from not going to school. School is not just for your kids to get an education or for you raggedy parents. It's not just for someone to watch your kids 8 hours a day. It is actually also so that your kids can learn how to socialize, learn societal norms, understand how to react in peer pressure, all of that. If a kid is at home and only with their parents, and then you put them into school, it is going to cause some anxiety. It's nothing her kids can't get over, but that is why people oftentimes recommend for the social part, it is good to put your kids into school. Public, private, charter, school does benefit your kids in more ways than just academic excellence. Why do I know that? Well, after next year, I'm going to do some clinical hours and be a school counselor. That's what I want to do. So I'm very proud of myself for that. But when I was learning that, I was like, wow, yes, there's that educational psychology to how people learn and cognition and things, but social cognition is also a very big part of what school helps kids with. So Dorit, I'm not going to come down on you. I'm going to say it's good that your kids are in school, but why are you talking about it after school on the way to a party? I don't understand it. I just don't. How do you feel about the homeschooling?
I feel like, to me, here's the thing. Homeschooling versus regular schooling, I feel like it can be beneficial to homeschool your children because a lot of the times you don't want them to have like a misconstrued thing of, you know, education taught by somebody else, and then they give like personal biases and everything. But then also on the flip side, it doesn't give kids good social, abilities. We're making friends and having that normal life. Because I've had a coworker at Starbucks, she homeschooled all 5 of her kids, but they're not socially performing the way they should be. They actually are very timid. A lot of them are on anxiety medication and everything when they go out into public. And that's another thing they do out here in Phoenix. They put these kids on anxiety medication as early as 5. So it's one of those where I feel like, to me, I don't think if I have children, I'm not going to homeschool them. I'm definitely going to make them, probably put them in daycare as early as, a year old, just so that way they can be social.
I know a lot of people don't trust daycares and stuff, but like when it comes to school age, there's other stuff that you can do. I'm missing more comments again. Where were we? In denial and could possibly relapse. I did not see that. That's true if you're talking about Karen.
I feel like she already didn't.
She probably ain't never stopped drinking. She
That
probably
reunion,
doing it at home.
I kind of feel vindicated because I said that at the reunion. She looked drunk at that reunion, and everybody else said the same thing on YouTube. So I kind of feel like, yes.
I mean, she did look drunk at the reunion.
She did.
She won't give. She will take a drink. Let me hush. No, don't, because it's true. It is true. Oh, yeah, Dorita's tired. Do you feel like you haven't been able to finish a sentence?
No.
Let me explain something to you.
What are you guys seeing?
I don't know. Sometimes people look for issues, but I'm going to address it respectfully. When I am on James's channel and he is explaining a scene, I don't talk, or I'm cut off when I do, because he's explaining the scene and then we talk about it. Sometimes we get excited and say stuff before the other can stop explaining and one may keep going, but that's just what happens when we're talking about conversation. If it has offended you, I'm sorry. Or I welcome you to head on over, if you would like, to the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel, where you can see a lot of lives with him finishing lots of sentences with me there as well. I don't know. That's all I could do. We're trying to have a good time here. I hope that you are too. And that is all.
Yeah, listen, this is 20 years of bantering, and probably I was thinking out loud. I do that too, and I talk out loud because I'm trying to make sure I have my thoughts right. That's how I process. So, Candace Stewart, don't please. I'm not offended by my best friend. There's nothing that she did, and if I did get cut off on a sentence, I didn't take it personally. Trust me, because I'm probably just talking out loud. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, I am sure that that's what it is, but I didn't want you to get ignored either. Also, if you don't like a baby, you can go. Thank you. She will have those children. Oh Jesus, not the
No,
children after.
yeah, because I feel like to me, that's why I said I feel like there's a certain point, like if your kids get to high school and you decide, okay, homeschool, maybe because now they have the online school now. I feel like if you want to do it at that point, then fine. But at an early age, I feel like that's crazy because
Yeah,
they have to get acclimated to society and they're very impressionable at that age. If you're blocking off society, they're gonna have a hard time. That's probably Dorit's problem. Dorit, did you get homeschooled? Because maybe that's your problem.
she said she
Not
went to
enough.
college and stuff. That's what she said. But we don't really know much about her like childhood.
Yeah,
We know more about
childhood.
her parents than we really do about her because she was so proud to tell us about her parents' heritage. But we don't really know much aside from her fashions and like other stuff
And they already had the
like
reunion. I would have
business.
asked that question at the reunion. Were you homeschooled? Because to me, that actually would explain. No, that would explain a lot. Like that would
Right.
explain a lot. Like if she was homeschooled. Yeah, see, yeah, because I'm telling you, there's something wrong with her people skills. So that would make sense to me.
That there's something wrong with her people skills.
There
I
is.
cannot, but there is because Dorit, I don't even think it's all her people skills. She might have been homeschooled. Was she at boarding school?
That's another thing because also we heard about the stories about boarding schools, Paris Hilton. So yeah, like yeah,
That's actually true. That's actually true. That's actually true. But you might be onto something with her. You definitely might. But I'm just looking at her like, girl, please. Your kids are going through what they're going through. They'll be okay. And I feel like she could still homeschool her kids, but was probably because California has a free homeschooling like system that
yeah,
anybody can use. I feel like she was doing what a lot of the LA or the richer people here in California do, which is paying for like a homeschool teacher. A lot of people do that out here. And maybe she couldn't do that no more. And maybe something else was cheaper. Like, I don't know what Dorit's doing, but I'm sure Phoenix will be okay. And it's good that she's learning. But the episode ends with Dorit arriving to the party. Everybody was already there. Everything was okay until she got there. Like, it seems like when Dorit walks into the room now, it kind of adds tension.
the energy
And
just goes.
I don't want to say it's all on her because when Dorit walks in a room, sometimes she doesn't start stuff, and then other times she walks in a room and someone may try to talk to her about something that could set her off. But essentially, she puts like this negative energy into the room. It makes people feel like some type of way. I don't know. Did you want to add anything to that last? Hi, Kiwan, that last it wasn't really even last.
They weren't even. I mean, Q party. Her kid, Rachel's boys were cracking me up, especially that youngest son, Caius. He was cracking. Who? What's your name at the door?
I like
He
how
was
she has
cracking
her
me
kids
up
involved and around though.
because that was me. I let me tell you, I knew all my grandmother's friends. I knew all my mom's friends. That's why there was a time when my grandparents had their recent 65th anniversary, and one of my uncle's girlfriends was, serving the food, and she goes, "Oh, I haven't met you because I've been in Miami." She said, "Oh, I haven't met you. I'm one of your mama's friends." I said, "No, you're not, because I know all my mom's friends. I don't know you." And she was like, "No, I'm really your uncle's." I said, "Oh, there you go. That's better. Don't play me because I know
You have
all my
to
mom's
fix it.
friends." Yeah, because I know all my mom's friends. Like those, like my mom has the same three friends she didn't have for 50 years. The
That says a
same
lot
three
about her
friends.
in a good way.
Yes.
Because
Yes, the
people who
same
have the
three
same
friends.
friends for that long, that tells me they are trustworthy,
Yep.
they're loyal, and they are good to their people.
I can go to all three of their houses. Like one of their houses, I have the door code. I can go in her house at any time and go up to my room. I can go to her friend house in Houston that she's had my whole life. I can go to her house and sleep. Like I can go to my mom's friends. Like so when she told me I'm your mama friend, I said, "No, you ain't," because I know all my mom's friends. And if you ain't the core three, you don't exist.
He said, I do not know you, lady. I love it. I'm here for it though. That's how it should be. That's how
Yes.
it should be. I know my mama friends, but I don't like them. Um, I don't. They're all therapists and psychiatrists and shit, and I'm just like,
Oh Lord.
it's real dry. Kiwan JTV said this episode was good. Y'all tap into Kiwan JTV's channel. Link to her channel is in the description of this video. We support anybody Black here on this channel. We will also be live with her on the RHOBH Best Friends channel, which is myself and James's joint channel. Tomorrow evening. What time did I say? 6:15? Lord.
It don't matter. I'm gonna be awake 15 minutes before it. So
He said, I'm gonna be. He works nights, y'all. So the
yes,
days and
the
oh
days
yeah,
when I
it
tell
is
you,
6:15. It
yes.
is, my
So
lord.
so I will be there
She said she's
hosting
overcompensating for her mayonnaise origin story, white nun season. Even mayonnaise got a little taste though. Just
just a little bit.
a little, the people.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
say, girl, get your money up. Okay. Lord, not Dorit being doom and gloom. It seems like every time she walks in the room, you could tell through the TV, the cast is just like,
She wears her problems. Like if you notice, like whatever problem she's going through, she wears it, and then when you misunderstand it, she gets so like offended, and it's exhausting. So no, doom and gloom is absolutely the best way to describe her.
the cast is sunshine, and then there's Dorit, not the storm, and the
Because let's be real, Erica and Kyle are going through shit, but you don't see. Well,
true.
Erica. No, wait a minute. I gotta take that back. Erica did, put us through the ringer, but in this season, she's coming a little bit lighter. So
Child. That's actually true. I feel like Erica's slowly redeeming herself. If Erica would have just, all Erica did wrong for me was say F the victims. That's the only thing she did for me that's wrong. Until everything plays out in court, I can't say she did nothing else wrong. I just can't. I cannot say that. The cast that there's three. Thank you, Kiwan. You guys like the video, support the channel if you enjoy what we're doing. It does help. No, we don't want a prostitute. I cannot with Kiwan.
Lord, if I can learn how to lift this leg up with this busted knee, trust me, baby.
I respect strippers. If I could climb the pole, I'd be
Mm-hmm.
rich. Okay, if I could climb the pole and knew how to do like some
And knew how to
solid
do some
makeup.
spins, like, and I'm talking about the P Valley spins where the girl was doing the
Oh
flips
yeah,
on the pole. I need to learn how to do that.
climbing the pole with just your one toe
One
and then
toe,
sliding
yeah.
back down with just a titty or something. Like we need.
Or you flipping on that? Yes, the way that girl flipped on that pole, that little white lady. Oh yes, I need to learn how to do all that. If I knew how to do that, y'all, I would be a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Not a bad mother. Shut your mouth. I cannot. Me and James be talking all the time. Tired of work. How's work going, friend? I'm just wishing maybe I should have climbed the pole.
Girl, I was all like, okay, for real, because shit, you got a job telling you they done ran out of sugar, and I'm like, God damn.
Oh Lord. Oh, they did really run out of sugar at his job. I'm just gonna digress there because that's crazy. But the stuff James be telling me about work, I'd be like, friend. Oh, but Kevin said, "Oh wow, that's hella rude." What was hella rude?
What was rude? He probably talking about me. What I do now, Kevin? What I do now?
Why you assuming you? You're usually pretty polite.
Talking about me. You know how Kevin Reynolds and I banter. Kevin Reynolds, you talking about me, ain't you?
Or it could have been me. I don't know. I feel like I've been okay. Have I been rude today?
I feel like I said some shit out of pocket just 5 minutes ago. So he probably talking about me. It's okay, Kevin. I still love you.
See, the problem is my filter is not the best. So he could say something out of pocket. I may not view it as out of pocket. Y'all hold us accountable. Kyle was so bothered. Meanwhile, Dorit was probably late.
Yeah. Kyle was bothered, though. She really was. And
she was looking for her. If you're done with Dorit, don't be looking for when she come into a room. Erica messed up by doing that. She really messed up by making that comment. If she didn't make that one comment, I think it could have been like any other scandal, and she probably could have avoided it or it would have blew over. But the moment she said she did not give a fuck about the victims, next thing you know, we got The Housewife and the Hustler on Hulu.
Yeah.
We had Netflix documentaries. There was YouTube deep dives. Like, it's unfortunate, but I mean, whether you're marrying up or not, always read the paperwork and understand what's going on with the finances in your household. And I think that Erica and Dorit are the example of that.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't got to pay the bills, but you should know which bills got to be paid and when and for how much.
And you should be questioning money that come into your house. If you know your man only make $900,000 a year and then he walk in the house with $25 million, there's a problem. Did you just win the lottery? What the fuck is this? Why do we have this much money now?
That's true.
Like,
Erica, he was an attorney. Just a lawyer. Lawyers are paid well, but not to what he had.
That's some crazy shit right there. I was like, damn.
This part, we had talked about this earlier in the live, Kiwan. Um, my only issue is them raggedy hoes waiting until the end of the season to bring something. This was not the finale, but when is the finale? Is it next week?
I believe it's next week. How many
I feel
episodes
like
is
this
it?
has been on
Episode? No, they
television.
have two more. Because don't they go to no next week is a because they go up to 20, right? It's a 3-part reunion. If they have a 3-part reunion, I'm gonna scream. Because what the fuck did
There's
we
nothing to
have?
discuss.
Yes, three.
Unless you're showing us Dorit's financials. What is there to discuss? That's the real Erica Jane. Yeah. I
Yeah, I
think
believe
that's
it.
also, I believe that too. I think she calms herself down or like tries to censor herself for this cast. I feel like there's a lot more Erica would say or do if she was with like a different set of women.
I agree.
How PK file, LOL, retired like Chili. PK wanted out. Child,
I
right.
would have.
Miss Sandra
I would have
is
wanted out
here.
too. Shit.
I would want to. Can you imagine living with Dorit?
No, we would be on the first 48 or
Not the first 48,
on
friend.
Lifetime Movie Network. They would have made a movie about me.
Not the movie. He would
Yeah,
have. James would have been a true crime. I would have been there. Yeah, we did YouTube for years with the high school together, and you know, he met this person, and they just talked. I could imagine because I know they're gonna call me.
they're gonna call you. They definitely gonna call you. You got to be the person in the interview, but like James was always so poised and just
Never
so
had
well
a
mannered, and
nervous bone.
never had anything. He met this crazy ass lady, and then all of a sudden it just went haywire.
And it's gonna go to him in jail. You know, they always give the people in the jail they interview about the crime they committed, and he gonna be like, "Yeah, I did it. I absolutely did it." I can see
Absolutely did.
James.
I told her, listen, know the difference between sugar and salt. That's all I got to tell you. If you don't know the difference between sugar and salt, then you don't need to be with me.
I could not. There better be two per reunion. I agree. She probably aged that man. She did. PK left her. Even his teeth look straighter and less brown. I mean, things improved for him. So much.
I mean, so much
She's
so, yeah.
insufferable. Poor Jagger. Not poor baby. She is though. I can't stand her. Not the reunion, a teams meeting like back during COVID.
This don't need to be no 3-part. If this is a 3-part reunion, we have serious problems with Bravo's discernment. Because just like Married to Medicine was a 2-part, this needs to be a 2-part.
Honestly, Potomac could have been a two-part too. But
Yeah, that as well.
always remember, y'all, homeless, not toothless. They looking into that too. But at least she has all her teeth. She is moving to a different home though. But that, you guys, that's all for the Housewives of Beverly Hills. I appreciate every single person who commented because the engagement does help the channel. I also appreciate every single text of Zoom. Y'all ain't right. Oh my goodness. Let me see. Yes, I agree, James. James, you were given some gems. Drop gems this episode. He did. I agree with everything James said. Usually we disagree, and that's what makes for a good live. But I
Yes.
agree with everything you said today.
Oh.
Kevin said it was rude to say you were not letting James finish his sentence. Hashtag bye. Hashtag bounce. Yeah, I try to acknowledge everybody in a respectful way, but I also feel like James has known me long enough to where if I am cutting him off, he'll tell me like, "Hold on, let me finish," which he's done in videos before.
Yes, like y'all don't understand. She ain't going nowhere. We fine. If I felt like
go away, I'm gonna just stay with him after.
Yes, like I'm trying to tell y'all, like trust me. If I did not feel seen, cut.
James knows how to get in front of them and make a
government
song.
name. I'm saying it's on this. I didn't. She not
gonna be like
Mrs.
Arita Aquila. Shut the
Yes, like if you don't, first of all, chill. Okay, I know how to do that. That's my best friend. We've been through so much shit.
This was also a hard live to cover because 47 minutes of this episode was all one like ongoing scene. It was all one ongoing scene. So it was hard to know where to pause to let him step in. And I'm sorry for that to anybody that I offended. I really am. I really am sweet as sugar. I really am. I swear to y'all, I am.
Wait, it was Kiwa, because why that black lady just popped up in my head when you put this comment?
Which one? Hold on. Right, it's their house. Don't. Oh, it's all of our house, but you know, we want people to feel like they can speak up. But some people don't understand the dynamic. I've had a lot of new subscribers. Welcome in, y'all. don't be
Well, at
scared
least
off.
you don't. At least they don't think we married. Like one of my cousins, and when they was on Watch Your Best Friends live, I said the show's called Watch Your Best Friend. How the hell you get marriage?
Someone thought we were married.
Yeah, someone thought we were married.
I mean, honestly, if I didn't find a man, I'd probably call James. Like, listen, what we doing? You want to make a person? We ain't got to be together, but what we doing? Like, okay, I got a good turkey baster. Never used it.
I'm sorry, y'all. Good night. Goodbye. I'll see you on the next live. I can't.
That is true. There are lots of creators on YouTube, you guys. There's somebody for everybody.
Yes,
But we're gonna head into the Housewives of Rhode Island. That live probably won't take as long, but let's get into it. She said your background music was too loud. Your intro colors changed. Why? Oh Lord. See, I don't know. But change has to come. That's how you keep growing on YouTube. We can't do, you know, if I could afford to do more, trust and believe I would, but I ain't got that $900 extra for the Shure microphone and all of that. But
I'm trying to tell you, look, $39.99. Listen, y'all, it is what it is at the end of the day. I ain't got time. I'm on a strict budget. It is just me. I am single again. So
I'm single again.
Yeah.
You had a song. Back on the trial.
Yeah, that's Trina. Yeah.
Let me stop singing, Trina. But we're going to head into Rhode Island. Love and light to everybody. Please consider seeing the links in the description of the video. Subscribe to James, Kiwan, JTV, Sandra P, Gen X. Subscribe to everybody black because they're all so fabulous. So why not? But we will see you guys for the next live. We're going to head into Rhode Island. Peace, love, and hair grease. Adios.